Box contains the greatness that is the OnePlus 3, but this box contains more than just the OnePlus 3. It contains several other accessories not found in the retail packaging. As you can see here, it's a very large box. So what's inside, you ask? Well, let's slide it open to reveal the innards. Let's start from left to right, just like a book. We'll see on the left we have a compartment that holds the Loop VR headset. OnePlus actually launched the OnePlus 3 in virtual reality, just like last year. Many of you might have watched that. This is a VR headset sold by OnePlus that features a lot of padding, nice big lenses, and of course, a slot to insert your OnePlus 3 or other smartphone of your choice. Next to that, we of course have the OnePlus 3 in all of its glory. If we slide off the top of the box, we'll see that the OnePlus 3 is sitting right on top, and my golly, it looks beautiful. It's sitting in a cradle that also holds some get started information that, let's be honest, we don't really care too much about. Underneath, we'll find there's a US wall wart here with dash charging support. It can charge the OnePlus 3's 3000 mAh battery up to 60% in just 30 minutes. That's pretty incredible. We'll take a look at that in detail for sure, but there is also an included USB to USB-C cable here as well to charge the OnePlus 3, and that's about it. We'll see that OnePlus included a bunch of swappable backplates to completely change the look and feel of the device. If you don't like the look or feel of the metal unibody construction, well, you can add bamboo, carbon, a black apricot, rosewood, or even a sandstone protective case, which OnePlus sells, I think, for about $25. The last item in the box is an included dash charge card charger with an additional USB-C charging cable. It's built with aluminum. It feels really sturdy and premium. It's nice of them to include this. But let's talk about the star of the show, the reason you are all here, the OnePlus 3. We can take it out of the cradle and remove all the plastic and the unnecessary stickers. It's pretty incredible to think this phone costs about half as much as the competition, half as much as the HTC 10 or Galaxy S7. It doesn't feel like it has any compromises here, certainly not in the build department. It's crafted with an anodized aluminum unibody, and it measures in at just 7.35 millimeters thick, so it's a razor sharp device. The camera does protrude a little bit, so it makes you wonder why they didn't just fill out the body with battery to make the camera sit flush with the body, but it is what it is, I guess. So there's a volume rocker on the left-hand side, underneath a physical notifications switch that toggles between silencing your notifications or showing all of your notifications or showing only priority notifications. The power sleep on-off button is on the right-hand side underneath the SIM card slot. There's no micro SD card slot, but the OnePlus 3 does feature 64 gigabytes of onboard storage, which I think is enough for most people. A USB-C port, bottom-facing speaker, and 3.5mm headphone jack is on the very bottom of the phone. One of the biggest new additions to the OnePlus line is the fingerprint sensor. It's on the front, and it's lightning fast. I think it's easily one of the fastest, if not the fastest, fingerprint sensor I've ever used. As you can see here, it works very well. The display is interesting because OnePlus didn't beef up the resolution. It's still a 1080p res display in 2016, and it still measures in at 5.5 inches. But they did swap out the LCD with an AMOLED panel to help conserve battery life. And since this phone is so thin and only features a 3000 mAh battery, I'm kind of glad they kept it with this 1080p resolution. Though I would prefer a thicker phone with a bigger battery and a QHD resolution display. With that said, the display looks pretty good based off first impressions. The bezels are razor sharp, colors are pretty vibrant. Of course, the blacks are very true to color. There's lots of contrast. I do want to say the pre-installed wallpapers here are amazing. I'm loving the Art OnePlus. Some of them are kind of trippy, but I gotta say, these wallpapers are beautiful. Now, you might have heard the OnePlus 3 features the top-tier Snapdragon 820 quad-core processor with 6 gigabytes of RAM. Not 4 gigabytes, not even 5 gigabytes, but 6 gigabytes of RAM. OnePlus claims it's 35% faster than the OnePlus 2 with a 40% boost in graphical power, all while being more power efficient. The phone feels incredibly fast. There's really no question there is a lot of power under the hood. And I know OnePlus phones run fast. They've always performed very well, even with more modest specs. The OnePlus 3 has ditched CyanogenMod and is now running Oxygen OS based off Android 6.0 Marshmallow. It features a bunch of additional features not found in stock Android, like various gestures. You can swipe down on your home screen to view the notification panel, or swipe up to view Google Now. And on the lock screen, you can draw a circle to access the camera, draw a V to access the flashlight. There's also a double tap to wake functionality. To the left of the home screen, there's a separate panel which contains some of your most used apps. You can add memos here, you can view the weather, and you can add various contacts here as well. It's kind of like OnePlus's Google Now homepage. On the rear of the phone, you'll see a 16 megapixel Sony PDAF sensor with an f2.0 aperture with 4K video support, HDR, OIS, and raw image support. There are even manual controls in the settings. You can expect a full review of the camera, but in the meantime, here are some sample photos. Let me know what you think of them in a comment below. I have mentioned there's a 3000 mAh battery here with dash charging support via a USB connection. Some other things worth mentioning is the fact that each OnePlus 3 is carrier unlocked and it supports GSM carriers. Apparently it supports 3G on Verizon, but not 4G. NFC is also present in the OnePlus 3, so you can use Android Pay if you so desire. To wrap up my unboxing and first impressions, I gotta say this phone is the complete package. You know, it has a premium build, incredible performance, at least on paper, one of the fastest fingerprint scanners, a pretty solid camera, as you can see from some of the sample photos, and the battery life is pretty decent, also on paper. Obviously, we're gonna need to spend more time with this device before we can full-heartedly recommend it to you, but it looks very promising. Is it a flagship killer in every sense of the word? No, since it doesn't support every US carrier like most flagships from Apple or Samsung, but it's getting there, and it does offer flagship specs for a darn good off-contract price of about $400. I think best of all, you can now buy a OnePlus phone without needing an invite. I do want to say the opinions in this video are my own, but please let me know your opinions in a comment below. As always, I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Smash that thumbs up button if you did. I'm gonna go. I will see you guys right back here in the next one. See ya.